Are you ready to see your new obscure GZDoom addictions? I thought you were. Let's start with this one. Let's start with the most overpriced GZDoom game. This one comes in at a whooping 20 motherflippin' buckaroonies. But as we all know, sales do happen, and seeing as this one doesn't do anything out of the ordinary to justify its price, it's still a damn fine and fun GZDoom shooter, so picking it up on a sale would be more than worth it depending on how big the sale is, of course. Now, let me dig a little deeper into why I think exactly that. Let's dive into the sick and twisted mind of Slim Bratsky. So Boro Helen is a dark fantasy first-person shooter, most reminiscent of games like Hexen or Hands of Necromancy, and the last mentioned is another banger GZDoom game, by the way. It's played out in fairly linear levels, each taking about 10 minutes to finish, which to me is kind of a sweet spot when it comes to the length of levels. Each of course wanting you to find colored keys to unlock doors to progress, and that specific object of looking for keys feels really fresh and new. Now the game features a total of 3 chapters, whereas each takes about 2 hours to finish, ending them with a fairly fun but very bullet spongy boss fight, like this sexy lad over here. Hello, Poppy. You throw rocks? Now, where Boro Helen shines the most is in its level design. Despite its innovative objective of finding keys, it feels very well crafted, atmospheric and fun to explore. It doesn't do anything that will blow your mind, but no level felt frustrating. No level gave me the vibes of not wanting to be there. Each level reeked of quality, tons of playtesting and both environments and navigational paths that gave me that GZDoom dark fantasy cozy vibe that only very few games manage to do. And there is actually a story to follow along with here. Yep, believe it or not, but there is. And while the execution of the story reeks of personality and charm, there is one big, ultra major problem with it. And that is that the developer who also recorded the voice acting for the cutscenes have a dialect that to me personally is very hard to understand. So unfortunately, I cannot comment much on the story apart from commenting that I didn't understand squat of it.
But he never returned to us. The bell is ringing repeatedly, just like the night I lost my brother.
That said though, the hand-drawn images during the cutscenes and the fact that it is amateur voice acted is charming as all living hell. And don't ask me why, I know I'm weird and crazy with some sick fetishes, but it is just charming, okay?
It's the power of sign.
Now enemy-wise, the game falls very short here. In the first chapter, as an example, we're introduced to a... Hold on to your hats here, broskis. Cue the drum roll. A brown cultist, a red cultist, a blue cultist, and a white cultist. Mechanically, they do differ from each other just a little bit. Not as much as I hoped to, but visually they get infuriatingly tedious to look at after a bit. And there are plenty of them, so you will be looking at them quite a lot. But I can't forget about the ogre guy. He does show up a few times in the first chapter, towards the end of it. Nonetheless, the combat, it's pretty fun. The weapons are cool, and the areas that we fight in, they vary and offer a challenge. Oh, that was close. That was also close. But the enemy variety is severely lacking, period. It does get better in the second and third chapter, but it's introduced in such a slow manner that the first batch of enemies do get so freaking tiresome before the next one is introduced.
I needed some ammunition.
Overall, however, it is a fun experience, especially thanks to its level design and atmosphere. Is it worth 20 buckaroonies? Hell to the flippin' no. No. Not in my opinion, as there are similar experiences out there for a much lesser buck. Is it worth it at 10 bucks? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it will take you on a journey that is fun, very tiresome, and rather memorable. Pretty cool, huh? And have you heard of it before? Let me know down in the comments. Next up is... Now, for most of you who follow my channel, why the hell aren't you following my channel? You should be following my channel very closely. You shouldn't skip a single video that I put out, okay? Okay, if you are one of those who do that, you will know about this game. But looking at the whopping 27 Steam reviews that the game is currently rocking... Wait, what? Only 27? That's freaking blasphemy! Shit! Well, that tells me that a lot more eyes needs to be on this game, and definitely a lot more hands needs to play this, because this is one of the most solid and worthy GZDoom experiences that you can currently find out there. And I'm not going to tell you why. I'm kidding, I am going to do that right now. So Relentless Frontier takes us to the future, where it's the end of days for this fringe terraforming colony, and you are the damage control. We get to play as Noah Gansky, a resourceful combat engineer armed only with his wits, his agility, and his omniacs. And I'm gonna touch more on that omniacs very soon, just wait. And we get to fight through hordes of alien bugs, energy cultists, and professional super soldiers as we try to save the people of Ross 128b, escape the grasp of the Solar Dominion. I know it doesn't sound like the most interesting or unique premise, but it does the job and it gives us something to work with rather than just slaying alien bugs. So, I kinda like it.
No comms, no positioning, clock doesn't work. How long was I out?
Now, what is it that makes this game such a freaking solid experience? Well, first of all, it absolutely nails the quality. I'm talking everything from graphics into the smallest details, the movement, the combat, the enemies, and the flipping audio and music. This game knows what the modern boom shooter audience wants, it delivers that with high quality, and it spices it up so that it doesn't feel like just another one. So when it comes to the movement, we are Sonic fast in this game. We got a slide, an omniacs that gets stronger the higher up in the air we slam it into the ground from. And that's actually not a movement ability, but it's just so freaking cool that I wanted to mention it early on, and I told you I was gonna touch on the omniacs soon, huh? Didn't I? Yeah, now I did. And then we have a double jump that all feel amazing. The levels, they are on the bigger side of things, offering both tighter corridors and a lot of big arenas, often with things that you can utilize to your advantage in combat. Like, say, a big rock for cover, or jump on it, or air. There's even construction rails and so on. You get the gist and you see it in the footage rolling. It's simply done right to make it fun and let you, the player, play it as you want to. Whether you want to use the covers, use the momentum to run around like Sonic, or get up in the air and fly like a freaking weapon of destruction. It's up to you, and the levels are built so that you can do all of it. Not always, of course. Not all areas look the same, but the overall feel is that you are in control of how you want to play this game. Now the enemies, they are equally as varied, if not more, and what first meets the eye with these enemies might not be all that you get. First of all, they come in masses. There can be an extreme amount of enemies on screen at once, making for some really intense and hectic combat, and some complained on the performance not being the best in these instances. I of course didn't notice any of that since I have a freaking beast of a PC, but at least you have been warned here. Now, some enemies chase you like the head crabs, others they lock into you and do a charge ability, while others fly or stand from afar shooting at you. Can you freaking believe it? They shoot at you! My freaking monsters! Now this makes it so that you have to utilize the game's level design and weaponry to your advantage. You can still do it however you want to, but you have to use it in one way or another. If you don't, you're gonna die. And in the end, this kind of design creates both excellent level design and enemy design combined. But that's not all, folks. A lot of the monsters have different stages to them. Yes, even the more normal enemies. One, as an example, has a shield that you can, if you're good, blast away from them. When they charge, you gotta switch to your shotgun, and as they fly towards you, you put them pellets right where they belong, in their flippin' face! And poof, the shield is gone, encouraging both weapon swapping and tactical thinking, but never to a degree where it gets frustratingly hard or impossible. It's honestly freaking superbly well balanced. Man, I'm really liking this game, aren't I? Well, it's so freaking good, I can't deny its greatness. Now, I could honestly go on forever about why this game is great, but I don't want to make this video 2 hours long, and I have a video up on Relentless Frontier already that you can check out, but I know that you haven't, so shame on you. But some noteworthy things before I drop it is that it has light Metroidvania mechanics to it, meaning as you unlock new abilities, you can backtrack and reach otherwise unreachable places holding secrets. The weapons, they're upgradable to an insane degree. Each chapter ends with epic boss fights, and there is a mechanic where you collect some goo-looking stuff, kinda like the stuff that comes out of your penis, and that can be used to give you health, armor, and ammo, which I highly encourage you don't forget to use, as that will make the game a lot more manageable if you do use it. And remember, the Papa Slim loves ya, and I will see you in the next one, because God forbid you skip my next video.